Hello everyone, my name is Elijah Proctor, and today we're going to talk about how to check key assumptions like whether data is normally distributed, whether different groups have similar variances, and whether their average scores are different across groups using tests like ANOVA, Shapiro-Wilk, and Levine's tests. And so we have our little data set here for basically showing 10 players from 3 different teams and their points scored. And so we're going to store this inside of our dictionary, and then we have our data frame that's generated from that dictionary. First, we're going to compare team mean scores using our one-way ANOVA test. So we have our stats.f one-way, and we basically just pass in every array from our data set, or every column from our data set. This returns the F statistic and the p-val ANOVA. And so we're going to print those results out for us, and then using our Shapiro-Wilk test we're going to find whether these scores of every team follow a normal distribution. And so we're going to loop through every single column inside of our data set. We're going to perform our stats.shapiro. We're going to call this function for every single array in the data set, and then we're going to print the results. We're going to print the p-value that comes from this Shapiro results. And then we have our Levine's test, and this checks for equal variances among the teams. And so we basically call the stats.levine function, which has our all of our data set columns as arguments. This returns our Levine stat and our p-val Levine, which we're going to print after we call this function. And then we're going to plot for visualizing the assumption checks and data distribution. So we have our box plot here so that we can see every team's score distribution. And then we have our quartile graphs for checking normality. And then we just execute everything and then print the results and show our plots for visualization. And so our results show that there's not any significant difference in the average points scored by players from these 3 different NBA teams. And so our ANOVA test produced a p-value of 0.83, and this is a lot bigger than the threshold of 0.05. And this indicates that the average scores across these teams are statistically similar. And then we have our Shapiro-Wilk test for normality, which shows that the scores from each team follow a normal distribution. Because every single p-value is greater than 0.05. And this finding actually is supported by our QQ plots, where the data points align closely with the reference line, and this is suggesting normality. Then we have our Levine's test for equal variances, which confirms that the variability in scores is similar across the teams, and there's with the p-value of 0.8565. And so in conclusion, the data here shows that the teams have similar scoring patterns without significant differences, with no significant differences in average points, normal distribution of scores, and equal variances across these 3 different NBA teams. Thank you guys for listening. Y'all have a nice day.